So let's say by some miracle this movie wins an Academy Award for like Best Animated Film or Best Original Song. Then are we supposed to call it an Academy Award wiener? Oh, so stupid. Sad thing is, I was just trying to make a pun and I literally spent like 10 minutes trying to come up with that. Sausage Party is a new Seth Rogen movie. It's an R-rated animated movie. And the main premise of Sausage Party is that food is actually alive, kind of like Toy Story. They all live in this supermarket and they believe that the humans are gods. When they go home to the humans' houses, they're going to the great beyond, basically like their heaven. And the trailers for this movie made it look like it was about this pack of hot dogs, one of them played by Seth Rogen, where they get taken to the great beyond. They found out it's all a lie and now it's them trying to escape. And that's part of the movie, but here's the real plot of the movie. Seth Rogen's package... Seth Rogen and his crew, they're in a cart, they're ready to leave the store, but then Seth Rogen and Kristen Wiig, who's playing a hot dog bun, they fall out of the cart, and now they're trying to get back to their aisle and also find out the truth about the great beyond, because they're starting to hear whispers that maybe it's not actually what they think it is. And like I was just saying, the trailers for this movie, while awesome, are very misleading. That scene in the trailer where they're in the kitchen and the chick's like cutting them up and eating the baby carrots. There's only about one other scene in the movie that is like that. The rest of the movie takes place in the supermarket. That being said, I still did have a fun time with Sausage Party. The voice cast is very fun. I only picked out a couple of them, like Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill, you know, like the regular Seth Rogen people. But then there were a lot of voices in this movie that I didn't recognize. The main crew of this movie, it's Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, and then you have a bagel and a piece of pita bread. The bagel and the pita bread I didn't recognize. I think after the credits it said that the bagel was Edward Norton, but it's pretty funny because I didn't recognize him at all. So part of the fun of this movie is just trying to figure out who those voices are. It's also fun just finding the stereotypes that they make out of these different food products. Are people going to be offended by this movie? Yeah, probably. But that's just what makes the movie fun. And this movie kept me entertained for the majority of its runtime. It is a little one note. It's a lot of sausage and bun jokes. And sometimes that joke works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it deviates from that joke, that's where the movie starts to pick up more steam. One credit I can give this movie is it's kind of like Team America World Police. It doesn't just go after one specific race or culture. It goes after everybody. I feel like if you like Team America, you'll probably also like Sausage Party. As far as things I didn't really like in the movie, the social commentary aspect of it, because this movie does have a lot of relevant themes, and those themes are good to have in this movie, but it's more just the execution of those themes. Because it's very on the nose and in your face. There's a much more subtle way to do it, kind of like what Zootopia did earlier this year. And even Zootopia got a little on the nose at times. But in this movie, it literally felt like the director thought that they had to spell it out for you. I mean, come on, trust your audience a little bit more. We're smarter than that. Then again, we are seeing an R-rated comedy about talking hot dogs, so... there that is. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure not everyone in my auditorium was actually sober. And the end of the movie. Now, the climax of the movie I thought was really fun. This is one of those rare cases where the third act of a movie doesn't actually lose steam. It picked up momentum, it was chaos, it was out of control, it was so fun. And then I'm like, alright, the movie's wrapping up. No, the actual last 10 minutes of this movie, that's where the movie started to blow its load. And I get it, they're going for shock value. And yeah, I was shocked in that scene. But the scene kind of goes on and on for a while that you start to get kind of desensitized to it. And you're thinking to yourself, alright, this would have been good as like, you know, 30-45 second scene. Oh, it's going on for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes now. Wow, we're still here. So I feel like that scene could have stayed in the movie, but they should have just shortened it somehow. In the end, I had a lot of fun with Sausage Party. It's not the hardest I've ever laughed in a movie so far this year. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, mainly because most of it takes place in the supermarket. The social commentaries were a little too in your face. But it's a fun movie, especially if you're looking for something to completely twist the tables on what we usually perceive animation to be like. So if you've seen Sausage Party, let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments section. I got a review for Pete's Dragon coming up soon, so look forward to that, but until then, I'll see you guys next time.